Everybody, this is Dan from Cerberus LiveScan, and welcome to another episode of Solutions for the Firearm Industry. This one, we're going to spend a little bit on business side, a couple books that I've recently read and implemented into my life and whatnot, and then also a tax strategy, payroll type piece that can help you out as a small business owner, as many of you, I know you are, that you may not have heard of. It was something that I'd loosely heard about called the SEP IRA. Loosely heard about it, wasn't very familiar with it. Found out it was an incredibly powerful piece of savings that you can implement in your business. And the real benefit is that it's not fully time based as long as you haven't filed taxes yet. So probably not good for this year, 2024 or 2023, 2024 if you deferred. But you think about it and talk to your accountant or dig into it on the internet to find a little more information. So with that, we're going to get started here. First, though, if you like what we're doing, if you like what you're hearing, hit that like and subscribe. Refer it to some of your friends. Let them know that we're out there. You can find our podcast on Apple Music, iTunes, iHeart, Spotify, YouTube, etc. You can find all that stuff there. We have 14 episodes. This is number 15, and I'm also going to put 16 in the book here tonight as well to get it going. So first things first. Profit first. I got two books we're going to talk about. I don't want that screen. Two books we're going to talk about. This one, Profit First, and this one, 10x easier than 2x. So Profit First is something that I picked up last year. I was frustrated with how some of the money was coming in. I was spending too much time tracking some of the money. And if you're like me, you'd rather be making money and calling and servicing customers and helping customers out as opposed to the minutia of tracking all the money. So this book basically walked through a relatively simple ratio formula, talking through that you basically put any income that you have coming into the business goes into one account called income. And then a couple times a month, you would harvest money out of it and break it down into a profit. You pay yourself first methodology, then into owner's pay. So think of like retained earnings as the profit, owner's pay as what maybe it's living expenses that you're working through, and then taxes, and then some other pieces. And whatever's kind of left over is the operational budget side of stuff. The theory that the author puts forward is basically we as humans are much like goldfish in the fishbowl. The bigger the bucket, the more we will expand and the more that we'll spend. So if all the money is in one account and you log into your bank and say, oh, I have X, I have $10,000, then when something is on sale or shiny or whatever, you spend 10,000. But then you also don't make allocations for your own profit, for your own salary, for maybe some retained earnings for growth or some other stuff. So it's a great read. Changed my mindset on some stuff. I implemented it this year, this fiscal year, 2024, and it has been awesome for us and our business. So it has forced me to make some choices when it comes to, I don't have money for that transaction. I run my business also a little bit with Dave Ramsey methodology at the speed of cash. So I don't really put much on credit, and I run everything basically on cash basis. So I'm also small enough I can do that. I'm not at the I think the IRS limit is 10 million in revenue. You have to go to accrual based. When I hit that bridge, we'll talk about that. But this one, great book, highly recommend it. And it talks through how to set some of the numbers, how to set some of the percentages, and most importantly, pay yourself first so that you have some money and you have some profit of the business as opposed to constantly grinding and constantly chasing something that's not there. So Profit First, highly recommend it. Next one is 10x is easier than 2x. This has changed my methodology on some stuff. The basic gist of this, if you aim for the moonshot and you land halfway there, you're still better than if you aimed for 2 and landed halfway. That's one moral of the story. So basically, aim and dream big, and even if you fell short, you will still be far ahead of if you just aimed for 2. The other piece that has rung very true to me and has caused me to actually do some hires, we have actually, as of today, we have 2 part-time employees with Peterson Farms that are helping us do some things partially because of this book. Sullivan's theory, and I agree with him, is if you want to grow and you want to continue to grow, you have to cut out about 80% of the things that you no longer are driving value for the business and focus on the 20% of it. If you're a math nerd, that basically falls into the Pareto principle, that 20% of effort will result in 80% of the yields, however you want to look at it, or 20% of the people will be 80% of your problems, whatever. Um, but if you are spending all of your time on minutia detail tasks that theoretically can and should be delegated out, even for a smaller fee or some cash that comes out of it, it will allow you to focus on that top 20% that is making the money for the business and allowing you to grow and doing the things that you really truly enjoy. So, again, a very good read. Has changed my philosophy a little bit and actually forced me. I have hired a clerk, a part-time clerk. Her name is Erica. Might hit social media, might not. She's kind of shy, but she is handling a bunch of the invoicing. She is handling a bunch of the record keeping on expired licenses and customer base type stuff. She's handling some of the order entry on WooCommerce on our platform stuff, and she's handling some of our Form 3s. So those are all things that I am highly capable in doing, but at the end of the day, it doesn't pay the bills from the software development, from the customer service, from doing the demos, from reaching out and making connections. So I have delegated some of that back office and clerical work pieces to Erica, and she's in here part time and she's doing that work and she's loving it, and I'm enjoying greatly what she's doing and allowing me to free up and focus then more deeply on the software and that piece as well. So, and that is because of this book and driving the point. So, and how we got to those tasks. Me and Susan had some windshield time driving someplace, and I basically asked Susan, "What do you enjoy? What do you love doing inside the business, inside the farm here?" And we're going to keep those. And what do you not enjoy, but I ask you to do, and you begrudgingly do it? And that's where part of her list came from, for the list for Erica and that job description piece. And the same thing for me. I thought, okay, what do I do from a compliance standpoint, from a paperwork standpoint, from an inventory standpoint, from et cetera? What do I do that I know I have to do, but I don't enjoy doing it, and it also doesn't ultimately drive massive value to the business and or massive value to the customer base. And those are the things that I have cut out, and that is now Erica's role. So 10x, easier than 2x. Good read, great read, recommend it. All right, next one. The SEP IRA. Going on a limb that many of you are small business owners and many of you are few employees. If you are not aware of this and your accountant hasn't talked to you about it, or you've been that side hustle growing into actually making some money, you got to look at these things. SEP IRA, in a nutshell, is a employee sponsored pension plan, but think of it really as a 401k. So at the end of your calendar year or tax year, so for most people, December 31st, you make an assessment as to what your net revenue is going to be. And as a self employed business owner, you can put in approximately 25% of that net revenue and tuck it into a self-directed IRA. It goes in tax deferred, and then it will come out taxed at the backside. So very much like a 401k you think about with a regular employer. The difference is, though, this is all employer sponsored. The employee cannot contribute. Okay. But you, as the business owner, are the employer. Therefore, you can put the money in. But your employees, if you have any, cannot match, cannot contribute. They just get the benefit from the program. So if you're a small business with a few to no employees, this is something that you can look at. This is just a website that offers it and talks about it, but it had a decent breakdown about it, about what's going on. There's some default settings for employees. By default, if you don't modify them, you can make them less restrictive if you find the right provider. And if you need help finding that provider for, say, minors or kids, give me a call. I can talk you through it. But basically, 21 or older is the default. They have to earn at least 750 in the calendar year. And then you can pick 3 out of the last 5 years they've been an employee. That would then allow them in. And that what's going on. Now, here's the cool part. On the SEP IRA, you can actually put in up to, which I think this year is 2023 and 2024. is almost $70,000. It's assuming you're making that much net, but whatever. 25% of net earnings come off as an expense. So say you made $50,000, 25% of that, actually it's 20 because self-employment, but um 20 55 $50,000, 20% of that $10,000, round numbers, can go in to a 401k type plan for you. And it then comes off of that net. So now your net is now 40 as opposed to 50. Okay. So huge ability to move some money for your future. The drawback with the SEP is whatever you pick as an employer, an owner, every employee gets the same one. So very quickly, this can become expensive if you have multiple employees. But I think the sweet spot from talking is around five or less. Probably makes some sense. After that, you may want to look at one of the other ones, the simple IRA, and some of the pieces out there, and or some pension type plans. But those are all things that you can talk to a financial advisor, an accountant, or whatnot to get that. But if you don't know about these things, incredibly powerful ways to move some wealth around for future, and also to exercise all of the allowable tax treatment that you are entitled to. So we did one this year for 2023. I filed late. Don't hate me. Got busy. Things were going great. So I was too busy selling Cerberus stuff than I was working on taxes and whatnot. So got with a new accountant, worked through some pieces because I had done a extension. I had until October to finalize all the stuff. We went through everything with fine tooth comb, ran a couple scenarios of if I do this percentage versus that percentage, what does it look like, et cetera, et cetera. So the really cool part about the SEP is that you can do it kind of backward looking as long as you haven't filed taxes. So again, you can look at and get an exact number of what your tax year looks like and what your net income looks like. And then you can make the decision that I'm going to do this SEP and then put that money in, say, for example, for me, the money went in early October for tax year 2023 because I was filing around the middle of October by the deadline. Same thing now for 2024. We're going to do that same deal. We're going to finish and close the books, understand what that all looks like. And then I can make a choice of, okay, how much do I want to push in for this SEP plan if there's money we make this year? Compared to some other plans, like the simple IRA and some other pieces, you have to make the declaration that you intend to do the 401k October, November timeframe of the preceding year. So anyway, this wasn't meant to be a in-depth discussion on the pros and cons of it, more of an awareness that this thing is out there and you should ask the questions on it. It's something that as a business owner, you have a lever that you can pull, both for your future as well as to manage taxes. And it's a really powerful thing that you probably want to look at if you haven't heard of it and don't know where to start. So ask your accountant, ask your financial advisor about it. And if you have other questions, reach out to me and I can answer what I can as a non fiduciary, non investment guy. But I know what I'm doing and I know what I'm doing for my family. So, all right, with that, thank you for joining us. If you like what you're seeing and hearing, again, hit that like and share and subscribe button on whatever platform you're listening to. Share it with your friends. Give us a review. Give us some feedback on topics you want to hear about in the future. We are Cerberus Live Scan, Peterson Farms. Peterson Farms is our retail operations. We're in 0702 in the Milwaukee area. We have two predominant products. Cerberus Live Scan is our fingerprinting solution for EFTs, Form 4s, ATF compliance, and soon maybe some other stuff, possibly Arkansas. Working on those pieces and in test with the Arkansas State Patrol for a solution there too. We have over 500 locations currently of Cerberus Live Scan. That makes us the number one competitor to Silencer Shop on their kiosks. So we offer a better solution. You keep the data, you own the process, you own the customer, not like the other guy. The other software that we have is called Merlin. This is, as my daughters like to describe it, the Priceline or Kayak of the gun industry. You can pull in and all of your distribution feeds. We are currently pulling in 19 different feeds as of today. You can order from 9 of those, and I'm working on a couple other ones here. So awesome product, puts everything in one screen. wicked fast searches, the ability to store some lists and favorites works great. And it's also discounted for Cerberus LiveScan users. So with that, thank you for joining us, for joining me. I appreciate the support. And if there's anything we can do or something you want to hear about, please let me know.